Howdy folks, Flotsam Dev here. Here's another tip for you. Have you ever had a situation where on a Windows update, for some reason, Microsoft Office or OneDrive miraculously gets reinstalled on your system without your knowledge? Well, I've got a fix for that. Below there'll be a file and it'll be called something like remove OneDrive and Microsoft Office.zip. And it'll be a link, it'll go to a OneDrive directory, not a OneDrive, that's the one thing I don't use. It'll go to a Dropbox directory and you can just download the file and put it into this path that I give you. Well, it's just a batch file. You can open it up in, Notepad or any program, just right click on it and open with. Don't run it straight away until you listen to this video at least first. You can run it. It doesn't hurt your system or anything, but I want to show you where you put it in your system so it runs in the background. Now, when I say runs in the background, it'll run when the computer is not doing anything, but it'll do it like that. It's only like a 1 kilobyte file. It's not a virus or anything like that, so it'll be in your task scheduler. So what you do, the first thing you do is you hit Windows key R to bring up the run box, and you type in taskschd.msc. So Tango Alpha Sierra Kilo Sierra Charlie Hotel Delta dot Mike Sierra Charlie, if you're into the phonetic stuff. And then you hit enter. And it'll bring open the task scheduler. Once the task scheduler is open, what you need to do is to go to new. So up here, create a new task. So you hit new task. Make sure the author is you and make sure you're an administrator, right? So runs only when the user is logged on. Make sure that's only set to you. Because you don't want this, unless you want to set it up as an administrator, you log in as administrator and set it up as an administrator. So you put in here the name you want to give it. You go to triggers, you add a new trigger, and not on schedule. You want to set this to on idle. So repeat task every whatever minutes. You can set this up to whatever you like. I usually have it, when the computer is not doing anything. You can either have it on idle, or you can have it set on an event. If you have it on an event, then you need to know the ID number. If you want it on an event, the ID number is 19. The ID number is 19. So you want to log. Actually, it's probably better if you did it on event. So I'll actually create it, right? So you do, from here, you give it a name. And you could remove OneDrive remove OneDrive, no comma, and Office. That's all you call it. That's what you call it. Leave that as one backslash. You've got to have your username and make sure you're an administrator. Then you go to triggers, you hit new. On here, you then select on event. You want to log the system. So you go down to, now this is going to slow your machine right down because there's thousands of things in this. I've got a 5950 X-ray and it's really slow when it does this. So you select system there. You want the source to be Windows Update Client. So just hit a W, you'll go down to W. So you want Windows Update Client, which is in here somewhere, Windows Update Client, and you want the ID to be 1919. Now you can set this up if you like, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is there. Hit OK. You then go to Actions, hit New Action. Now it's start a program. Oh yeah, you start a program, right? So that's the action, starting a program. Install script. So you browse this to the batch file that's down below. So in my case, my batch file is on this hard drive in the Windows stuff. and it's remove Office and OneDrive forever. Hit open, hit OK. Make sure it's in there and make sure the path and everything looks correct. When you hit that, hit OK. Actually, you don't need to hit OK because we haven't finished yet. Go back to properties. OK. Now, you go to condition, and the condition is the start the task only when the computer is idle for 10 minutes. So you turn that on. So if it's idle, so you might walk away from the computer and 10 minutes later it'll run, or you can have it 1 minute later, or you can have it 20 minutes later. You can do it to whatever you like here. I think it's up to an hour, yeah. So up to an hour later. Stop if the computer ceases to be idle. So you don't want it to be running in the background every 10 minutes if your computer is playing a game or whatever you're doing. So that's okay. Now you want to now once you click OK, it's in here. Here it is here. Sorry, I have to think about this. I've got some notes down here. Now, if you're not an administrator, you'll need to know the administrator password, and it'll generally come up with a box. It doesn't in my case because I am an administrator, and it'll ask you to enter your password if you're not an administrator. I don't know if there's a place in here where you can do that. The history is disabled. It didn't ask me that box in my case. If it pops up and it says enter administration password, you have to know that. So you put in your password and it accepts it. In this case, I am part of it, the administration group, and I'm actually logged on as the administrator. I'm not logged on. This is the one I wanted to work under, but I'm actually logged on as the administrator. But once you close that, now I've got that in there twice. Because I've already done it once before, but the video didn't record microphone, so that was a bit useless. So here we go. I have to find it now. Remove OneDrive. There's two in here. So that one there, I'll just find out where this one is. Oh, it's in the same place. So I'm going to delete that one. Okay. Yes. Because I've got it in here already. It's just that when I recorded the first time around, I found out the microphone didn't work. So once you've set this up, just close this, restart your machine, and I can't do that now because of recording, but restart your machine, and that'll be in the background happily running. Now I'll show you the program for those people out there that know anything about batch files. I'll find it here. Where are we? Remove, here we go. Remove Office and OneDrive forever, BAT. You can call it BAT, you can call it CMD. If you can't see extensions, you'll need to turn extensions on. Push these three little dots up here, go to Options, go to View, and here, hide extensions for known file types. Normally, if you watch what happens here to the BAT, see the BAT disappeared, so you can't see the extension. And then if you turn it off, you can see all the extensions turn on. It's handy because sometimes you might have two programs that look identical, but one's a batch file, one's a CMD file, one's a this file, and they all got the same bloody name and you don't know which one it is. So it's handy to have that on so you know to go straight to an exe file. So that's how you fix that. I'll show you what the batch file is. I'll run it as, I use Notepad++. You can use Notepad, you can use whatever program you've got to open up text files. It's just a text file, but named BAT. Right, so echo off, remove Office, and then the command to do that, remove OneDrive, whoops, then the command to do that, then delete leftover files, so it'll go to there, it'll go here, it'll go here, it'll go here. It'll be according, this will work to my system or your system. It doesn't matter which system. If anything looks wrong in here, it won't work. Hopefully it works for you because it works for me here. I will run it to show you. That's it. So you'll have a little window that pops up like that. If you're not next to the computer, you won't even see it. And it'll happen so quickly. You know, can I click my fingers? It'll be that quick. You know, it'll just pop up and then close. And if there's anything else in there that you want to alter, you go task, or you can do it the other way. Task schd.msc. And I typed it wrong, didn't I? Oh no, I typed it wrong. I didn't type K. I'll put a J in there. Doesn't work if you do that. So if there's anything else in here that you don't want running, you can go through here and find out what is running and that you don't want running. When the task is created, modify Microsoft hardware launch point. So there might be things in here you don't want. At 3 a.m. every day, Microsoft update scheduler, you might not want that running. AM, trigger repeat every, 2 hours indefinitely. WPS, external task. Why is that running every 2 hours? So just go by date done. 31st of the 3rd. It's not the 31st of the 3rd, that's tomorrow. So this does it on the date. So that will run multiple triggers, Microsoft Edge updates, where you might want to get rid of that if you don't use Microsoft Edge. Opera scheduled assistance, MKC logon, don't change that, whatever that is. So you just go through this and you find out what runs. ACS antivirus scan, yeah, I'll let that happen. Dropbox update, and that's at 4 o'clock every afternoon. So if there's anything that you don't want, just delete it. But make sure, right? make sure you're not deleting something that can really hurt your machine. I just go through the Microsoft Edge updates. If you don't use Microsoft Edge, you can get rid of that and then uninstall Microsoft Edge, or get something like ChatGPT to write you a batch file to remove Microsoft Edge automatically. And once you've got that batch file made, add it to my batch file and just edit. All you have to do is edit the batch file. It's already set to run. So just edit the batch file and it'll run with that extra detail included. So hopefully that sorts everything out. I'm not going to make any more changes. That's there. As long as you don't delete that file, it run. If you delete it, obviously it can't run. And that's where I'll leave the video. Hopefully that helps you out. And we shall see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Anyway, have a great one, wherever you are in the world. Good night, good afternoon, good evening, wherever. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, cheers for now. Bye.